Hey there, and welcome back to the Transformers the Game 2.0 mod. As you recall, in the last episode, I showed you my initial reactions to the Ultimate Doom, which was absolutely phenomenal. But now, I'm actually going to be returning to the Ultimate Doom to give you a full-on guide for it. Because this level is not easy. I think I just got lucky the second time because I've played it a lot since then and have failed a lot. But I have also learned a lot. And I think I have a pretty solid strategy for beating this level. Of course, a lot of that really hinges on how the AI behaves, because sometimes the AI will just screw you over. It just will. But for the majority of times I have played, I have found these results to be the most consistent. Now, this video will be a little bit spliced together. I could not get it all in one take like I wanted to. So, you will see a few transitions throughout, but not that many. Fortunately, I did get the main area all in one take, so that's nice, at least. And for sections where things did go a little wrong, I could probably add some input as to why that happened. But I think we're ready to begin, so let's get started. Before we hit the main level, I want to show you a little Easter egg I missed during my initial playthrough. If you turn left, right at the start here, and head towards Central Park, you'll find the Autobots. Yep, you'll find a drunken Bumblebee, Ironhide, and Ratchet. But no Jazz, because he's dead. Not gonna lie, it's pretty cool to see all these Autobots together. But yeah, we got Bumblebee here having a splitting headache. And look at that. How cool is that? Ooh. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Yeah. Hey, Ratchet. Wambulance. Yeah. Can I get on top of you? No. Okay, that's enough screwing around. Time to get on to the real deal. Let's head for that beacon. And we will conquer our ultimate doom. As soon as you see the loading screen, start spamming your melee key. After hitting him once, he will typically run back a little bit. Now sometimes he will just continue attacking, but more often than not, he runs away. I also recommend pushing him up this street, and once you've beaten him for this first stage, rush straight to the action zone. Alright, this first section is pretty time sensitive, so pay attention. First, we're going to take out the drone default elites. Wait for them to fully transform before you take them out. You'll have 3 that spawn right near you, and another near the monument, so once those 3 are down, take out the one at the monument. By the time you have done so, armored cars should be near your position. Seems like he's running a little late, but he's usually a lot more timely than this. You will also see a couple drop kicks shooting at us. But I believe we're out of range at the moment, so we can't really do much about that now. For now, remain here and wait for payload. Now, if you can, try and stay positioned near this left side of the street. It is the most ideal location to take him down. Once you have him stopped at the left side, pour it on him. It seems that smacking him is a little bit faster than tossing him, so I'd stick with that. Just be sure you start hitting him when he starts getting up. And it seems only the third strike is needed for him to take damage, so as long as you get that, you've got him. By the time you've taken him down, the dropkicks will likely arrive at your position. Which is fine, go ahead and take him out if there are any nearby. Now we will employ one of the sweetest strategies I have for you. So, as I mentioned, these dropkicks will continue to respawn, and their rapid fire ability will decimate you if you are battling Megatron. So, we need to find a way to get rid of him while we fight him. Once you get a dropkick roughly near the right side of the park, jump slam him, pick him up, and throw him across those buildings. And he is now out of your way until you deal with Megatron. Now, full disclosure here, they can escape, but it is very rare, and by the time they do, you'll likely have already finished with Megatron anyway. We can now turn our attention to Megatron. And the key to beating Megatron is actually quite simple. Corner him. Once you've positioned yourself at the corner you want Megatron to run into, shoot him, and draw him in. Then, once you're clear, find a nearby object, and throw him at him, and then lay it on him. Go as fast as possible. In the best case scenario, you'll get something like this. Yeah, see? How efficient was that? But once Megatron is dealt with, head around outside and deal with those drop kicks. In the event they are shooting at you, just shoot at them to disable their rapid fire. Now, we move on to Wave 2. Once you're done with these guys, head straight toward the center of the map. This next wave consists of 2 pickup truck elites, 2 default elites that will respawn, and 1 drone tow truck elite. Try and deal with the pickup trucks first. But feel free to deal with any default elites that give you any trouble. Now, you want to turn your attention to Hook. The absolute best way to deal with Hook, by far, is to stall him by shooting him. This guy can advance fast, and any time you can buy yourself is well worth it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to hit Hook before Megatron showed up. And with these default elites now using their shockwave ability, we gotta get some distance on him. So, once you're away from the default and have some pretty good distance between you and Megatron, we can now turn our attention to Hook. Keep a barrage of fire on him, and position yourself at an object, and then throw it. And then resume firing. Do not engage this guy with melee. Also, another critical tip. In the event that Hook is in real close proximity to Megatron, do not try and hit him with an object. Should that object miss and hit Megatron, you've pretty much screwed yourself. The combination of a ranged weapon Megatron and melee Hook is fatal. And if you're ever feeling a bit cornered, feel free to retreat outside the action zone and loop around, as while Megatron can exit the action zone, most drones can't. While we wait for a good opportunity to take out Hook, now would be a good time to cover what we're going to do for the default elites. So, similar as to what we did for the drop kicks, we want to set up the defaults so that they are out of our way when we deal with Megatron. Fortunately, we do not need to toss them anywhere. Instead, we just need to set them up so that they're using their shockwaves out of range of the statue. Ideally, up near the front of the park would be the best choice. Of course, just how long that takes is up to the AI. Try and bait them out as best you can. You could also shoot them while they're in vehicle mode to draw them back into robot. And once the defaults are set up and Hook is destroyed, you can now repeat the same strategy for Megatron. Head back to the corner of the statue and draw him in. And once he's roughly in range, throw an object and pour it on. Ah, and see, down again. Now, just finish off those default elites, and the second wave will be clear. As soon as the final default elite is destroyed, head for the far right corner of the park. This third wave includes 1 drone MIG elite, 1 drone cement elite, and 2 drone forklift elites that respawn. Your primary target for this wave should be the MIG elite. He is usually the first one to arrive. That was not so in this case, but he usually is. However, the cement drone did. Should he show up in robot mode, retreat across the train tracks. You do not want to engage him in robot mode. His ranged weapons will cut you down. So instead, we are going to position ourselves here. And a really helpful tip for dealing with the MIG is that you can shoot him in jet mode and force him down into robot mode wherever he is currently located. This will make it so that you are never hit by his transformation attack. You are, however, going to want to make sure you are a little bit close enough to him so he doesn't just head back into jet mode. Unfortunately, mine was being a little bit stubborn, so I didn't get a chance to do any damage. And also Mixmaster showed up, so I had to retreat. So should that happen, just flank around back to where you last were. Be advised though, if Megatron is here, there is a good chance he will flank you, so watch where you're going. I was actually fortunate enough to get some decent breathing room to hit Dreadwing in the park itself. So if you do get that opportunity, take it. Just watch out for those scrappers, and you will deal with him just as you dealt with Hook. Hit him with an object, and use your ranged weapons for the rest of them. Do not engage him with melee. Yeah, this was obviously not the best way this round could have turned out, but it could have been a lot worse. Oh, and if at any point you get an opportunity to hit Mixmaster while he's in vehicle mode, take it. You only need 2 hits from an object to kill him. You got that chance, take it. Yeah, this was one of the rarer cases where I could actually do some damage in the center of the park itself. I don't usually recommend this for the third wave, but I got a little lucky here, so use caution though. It's really up to the scrappers as to how well this event goes. Yeah, a huge part of the last 2 waves is just getting good opportunities to take enemies out, but be smart about it. Watch out for the scrappers, and make sure MIG isn't flying around in jet mode. Those are 2 important bits to keep note of. Yeah, as you can see here, I'm still inside the action zone, but the scrappers can't reach me. Those little gremlins are terrible. It's really the melee-based drones we gotta worry about the most. They will hunt you relentlessly, both Hook and scrappers alike. Ah, you see that? I was thinking about throwing that car at Dreadwing, but decided not to because Megatron was there. That's smart. Keep that in mind. Ah, there. And once Dreadwing's down, all we have to do now is deal with these scrappers. And for that, we're going to use the exact same maneuver we used for the drop kicks in Wave 1. Fortunately, it is a lot easier with these guys because they don't go nearly as far when you knock them down. So draw them back toward the right side of the park, knock them down, toss them out. And if you need some breathing room, feel free to drive outside the action zone to get Megatron off your back for a little bit. And if you need to, be sure to farm up any help from any scrappers now before you toss the last one out. And once they're out, we use the exact same method we used for Megatron again. Line him up, knock him down. Oh, is that not glorious? Works like a charm. Now just head on in there and finish off those scrappers. And now we move on to Wave 4. This wave contains the free Decepticons of the Apocalypse. MIG Elite, Tow Truck Elite, and Armored Car Elite. This wave is all about finding opportunities. And it's really up to the game whether you get those or not. If you are able, I would focus on the MIG. He's easily the most annoying, the fastest. Deal with him first if you can, but if you get a good opportunity for one of the others, take it. And though I didn't have the need to do it here, feel free to hit Megatron once to send him to his flail state if you want. He will be much slower in that state and a bit of a less of a threat, but I didn't have the need to do it here. Just keep that in mind, that is an option. Well, that is what happens when you don't follow through with hitting payload. Make sure you hit him with the third strike, otherwise you're gonna have to deal with that. Yeah, as you can see, finding objects might get a little hard near the end. Oh, and by the way, don't bother picking up tanks. They are terrible objects. They go so slowly and are just not practical at all. Avoid them. But after you've hopefully got some good opportunities, now you resume the attack on Megatron, same way as before. Hit him 2 times, wherever you want, and then draw him back to the statue for the final throw. Ah, you see? That little hit almost cost me. Fortunately, I was able to salvage it, but you may not be so lucky. Now for this final encounter, you're going to want to switch things up a bit. Another method for dealing with Megatron is what I call the counter-strike technique. For this, all you do is block and strike. That's it. As Megatron will be frequently using his ranged weapons, and they hurt a lot. Fortunately, he is also actively pursuing you, so you can use that to your advantage. Now, for some reason here, it didn't work so well for me. I can only assume the height threw things off somehow, because every single time I have done this beforehand, it has worked flawlessly. So, I'm guessing that's what happened. You should not have this problem, though. So, learn from my mistake. Ideally, you should have encountered something like this. That is how it's supposed to be. But once you defeat Megatron for the last time here, you have beaten Section 2. Now, you know where to go next. So make your way to the next action zone. Set a position right here. This place is a sweet spot. This is where you get the best possible target locks for Megatron. At least from what I've seen. So this one is pretty simple. Shield yourself and wait for a clear target lock, and then open fire. Ideally, you can either get him while he's strafing, or while he's doing a hover attack. If he is doing a hover attack, you could jump to avoid his rockets. That's something I wish I'd known when dealing with Starscream in Unfriendly Skies. But yeah, this position is so good, you should have him down in no time. And if he's on top of you or behind you, just stay shielded. Just wait for him to appear ahead of you. That's what you want. And once you knock him down, stick with your guns. Yeah, you do not want to pursue this guy with melee. It'll drain you out. Not sure if jumping really helps here, but I don't think it did any harm. So, give it a shot. And once you've beaten that, there's only one last section left, and it is probably the easiest. So, climbing up that building and get to the rooftop. So there isn't really much to say about this one. Just pour it on Megatron with your primary weapon, and strafe to avoid any of his incoming fire. The only tips I do have for you is that he uses his rapid fire weapon when he is closer, and his rockets when he is further away. And also, don't jump. I think that is really risky here, because one wrong move and you're going down, and it's just not worth it. Additionally, if he is using his rockets, try and time your attack after a block. It'll save you some knockback.
You won't escape justice this time.
But if you keep up that attack, you should take him down. And there you have my guide for the Ultimate Doom 2.0. I genuinely hope that'll help you out. A lot of those tips will really save you a lot of time and damage. I hope you get a good run. I got a pretty great one up until the shield counter didn't work. But don't be surprised if the AI somehow screws you over. Well, there's only one thing left for the Autobot campaign, and that is Cybertron Autobot. And, oh boy, that's a doozy. Yeah, I'm actually recording this after I recorded Cybertron, so it's a little confusing, but you'll see. I genuinely hope that'll help you out, but even with these tips, it's still gonna fall to the game and the AI as to just how well the game plays out for you. Anyway, that's next, should be out pretty soon, and I will see you there on Cybertron. See ya!